busting at the seams, you don't know what I mean. Get there, I say with my grain. I see people trying to scheme. It don't got a red stripe, but you know my flow supreme. Yo, diamonds I need on my wrist. Ay, nobody sounding like this. Ay, don't even know how you got to the top. I send you to the abyss. Ay, I shoot shot, don't miss. Ay, I move pot with wrist. Ay, all these other rappers probably trying to sound like this. Yo, ay, where the dope at? Yeah, they shoot at me just like Kodak. Ay, got a problem, tell them hold that. Just run the city, boy, I thought you know that. How we make a way without a boat? Wait, how? He got all the keys and all the dope. All the dope, tell them keep that respect though. Give me the check though, and I say perfecto. Ay, got the hustle from my pops, man, I got so many keys, got the whole city on lock. You should worry about yourself, why you staying on my jock? Can't stop, even UPS can't put me in a box, yeah. Shawty said it's a bop, about to play this in a drop top, cruising down the block. Yo, acting like the man, but we both know that you not. I got hops, watch me ball, hear the swishing with my shot. Wet, me I'm on top already. Give me that guap, I'm ready. Got drive and dready, throw cash confetti. Give me that ice like Yeti. Hate, but they had not met me, but they ain't bringing me down. No, I'm too up right now. Aye, private meeting, check the dough lot. This cool, but my next single is more hot. I did all the shows in my city, I was busy. Yeah, now I'm taking over your block. Ay, where the dope at? Yeah, they shoot at me just like Kodak. Ay, got a problem, tell them hold that. Just run the city, boy, I thought you know that. How we make a way without a boat? Wait, how? He got all the keys and all the dope. All the dope, tell them keep that respect though. Give me the check though, and I say perfecto.
I used to be the lost boy running insane. I used to be the ghost boy looking for fame. I used to work so hard to get it, so hard to get it. I used to be the one living in the fast lane. I used to be the one who only cried in the rain. I used to work so hard to get it, and so hard to get it. And so hard to get it. I used to be the lost boy running insane. I used to be the ghost boy looking for fame. I used to work so hard to get it, so hard to get it. I used to be the one living in the fast lane. I used to be the one who only cried in the rain. I used to work so hard to get it, and so hard to get it. The lost boy running insane.
Motherfucker.
Carson Wentz is gonna be a beast though.
3 and OT. Let's go. That sounded a little close for my liking.
Knock him the fuck out! No way! With the right! Hey, plus 320, dog! With the fucking right here!
Gonzo'S Sports Room starts in 3, 2, 1. What's up, motherfuckers? Welcome to GSR Gonzo'S Sports Room. Thursday, September 2nd, 2021. We have a big show planned for you guys today. We have yesterday we were lucky enough to have a special guest come in, pro wrestler Dutch Boy Platinum. Came in and had a conversation with us. We're going to air that today for you guys. It's a great conversation. I think everybody's really going to enjoy it. Before we get started, I want to give a shout out to Dutch Boy Platinum for coming through and hanging with us yesterday. And hope to have him on again. Before we get started with that, don't forget we're live every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern with Easy Money, a sports betting show. We're giving out winners. Come join us. We're also live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 p.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch with GSR Gonzo'S Sports Room, our sports talk show. Come join us for that as well. We also you can find GSR and Easy Money, a sports betting show on Apple Podcast, Anchor Podcast, Spotify. About anywhere you listen to podcasts, you can find us. Follow us on social media. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all at Gonzo'S Sports Room. Also, we have merch available. Check out our merch store at streamlabs.com/Gonzo'S Sports/merch. We have t-shirts, hats, beanies, hoodies, all kinds of different things available. We got some new stuff that'll be dropping real soon, so you don't want to miss that. All right. Without any further ado, let's get to this conversation with Dutch Boy Platinum. Hope you guys enjoy this, and I'll be back after the conversation's over. Motherfucker.
Carson Wentz is gonna be a beast though.
3 and OT. Let's go. That sounded a little close for my liking. With the right! Hey, plus 320, dog! Gonzo'S Sports Room starts in 3, 2, 1. What's up, motherfuckers? Welcome to GSR Gonzo'S Sports Room, September 1st, 2021. Got a special guest in the house today. Also got Eric in the house. I have Dutch Boy Platinum.
Hey,
I say that right?
Yeah, Dutch Boy Platinum. Dutch Boy Platinum.
Welcome to GSR.
Delighted to be here. Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
So, Dutch Boy Platinum, tell our viewers what it is exactly that you do.
Yeah, so I am Dutch Boy Platinum. I'm a professional wrestler from the Muncie area. Grew up in Yorktown and everything. Currently live in Indianapolis, and yeah, just a boy trying to make his dream happen. So
Nice.
What got you into the wrestling business?
So I mean, I've always been a fan since I was a kid. Always going to some live shows, trying to go to any events that I could, really. At least ones that my dad would take me to. And then I just so happened to go to a show at WCWO around this time last year, and then ran into one guy. He put me into contact with somebody else, and then I started training. Yeah, that's kind of that's about it.
How long you been wrestling?
So the 1 year since I decided to start training just happened couple days ago, August 28th. So that was at least a year ago is when I started training. I didn't make my debut until April 11th was my first official match. So
So about 4 months ago.
Yeah, about that time.
About-
Yeah,
that's-
yeah. So
How many matches have you got in since then?
I think I'm at 27 now. I'm gonna be
Wow,
having.
that's,
Yeah,
I would
pretty
imagine that's
impressive.
probably. I mean, that's quite a bit in 4 months.
I would say I feel like.
But you wrestle every Friday at the one place.
So I left for that 1 month to go teach band and stuff.
Yep.
What we were talking about earlier. So I left for a month. So there was a month where I wasn't doing anything. But yeah, I was trying to do Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like all the way up and ever since I debuted. So trying to make it happen.
Can you tell us how it felt the first time that you went out there in your very first professional match?
So my first match was against the veteran Jack Vaughn at JCY. I think that was the name of the promotion. It was Jimmy Yang's promotion. So that was where like my first official match was. And Jack Vaughn is just a monstrous man. He's just a very big guy. And I mean, I'm definitely not the most sizable person. So it was kind of a bit of a squash match. But then I think that following Friday I had my like first match where it was like super intense. It was a tag match with Corey Dillinger, Corey Storm, and Wolf, and it was like super intense. I got what was it?
Was that the WCW?
Yeah, at WCWO.
That's the match we watched last night.
Okay.
And so I remember going through it. Everything was super intense. I'm pretty sure it took like a drop kick like straight to the dome, and I just came back and I was like, I don't know what just happened. Like I got back, like my adrenaline was going, like everything was just going like super crazy. And I got to the back, I was like, oh, we're done. That was it. Okay, all right, cool, sick.
You also landed a good drop kick in that match as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of that drop kick. Not gonna lie. I was like, if there's anything I gotta try to make sure it looks good, it's definitely.
I remember the drop kick from watching the match.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that whole match was pretty impressive. So, training. What is training like for you? About how many hours or days a week or so do you say you train?
So we train every Sunday and Tuesday, and we've started doing like this conditioning class, an hour and a half before, and then we have actual like training for like 2 hours after that. So that within itself is about 3.5 hours of just like in ring work and everything. But then I'm trying to hit the gym and stuff like every other day, like in between that. Like yesterday, I was at the gym for 2 hours, hour and a half of conditioning, and then 2 hours of training. So it's definitely a lot to take on. But I mean, if you're trying to make something happen, you gotta put in the work. So.
Well, you could tell from
You gotta be fully
from
committed.
the matches
to it.
that I've seen of yours that you've been definitely putting in the work.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you.
I mean,
Thank you.
we've been highly impressed with your skills so far and everything that we've seen.
This match here was the best match on that card a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I would have to agree with that. The tag team that you had with Logan Myers against the highlight reel. What was that feeling like?
It is, especially knowing I know the finish got a little mixed up and everything. But I mean, we still went out there and like did our thing. Me and Logan kind of started training around the same time. I think he started about a month before I did, but then we debuted around the same time. And so I mean, we train with each other every Sunday, Tuesday.
So he's from the same organization,
Yeah,
the same thing as you.
So there's Jake Oman, who's our trainer. Shout out to Jake. And then there's Blake Wright, me, and Logan, and we're like kind of the three boys. We just added another one in. Her name's Brooklyn. She's like super small, sweet little girl, but she just started training. So, yeah, me and Logan have been training ever since I started training. So we've been together for a long time, and being able to go out and work with each other, especially against like the highlight reel, always a good time.
Yeah, you gave them everything that they wanted, and then some.
And I mean, they've got that like twin dynamic with each other. It's like that they definitely know their strength. So
how'd you get hooked up with Jake Oman?
so I went to a show. I can't remember what it was. I think it was just some Facebook something where it was like WCWO ended up popping up on my newsfeed, and I was like, oh dang, there are wrestling shows in Indianapolis. Like I haven't gone to a wrestling show in a long time, so I ended up going. And I was just sitting there and enjoying the show, and then guy sits next to me, and he was like, "Hey, is Blake Wright gone on?" And I was like, "I have no idea. I honestly can't hear any of the names that
I don't
they're
know who
saying."
these guys
so,
are. I'm just watching.
This is my first time here. So, and his name was Bo. And me and Bo eventually, once I started having matches, me and him had a tag team match against the highlight reel at the White River Wrestling show that Jake put on. So me and him just started talking. I was like, "Oh yeah, I've always thought it'd be interesting to like start training and stuff." And then he put me into contact with Jake, and then me and Jake met up for coffee, and he kind of felt me out for a little bit, and then we started training that next Sunday. Yeah, so
it all happened pretty quick for you.
yeah, it was all very much just like, all right, here's an opportunity, and then we just went for it. So
this like year or so, year and a half has just been
yeah,
skyrocket
honestly,
for
the
you,
fact
huh?
that I'm sitting in this room right now doing this
Right.
podcast is pretty crazy.
So you just kind of just
Yeah, that was the
went.
thing. So I've like moved around like quite a bit, and I lived in Chicago for a while. I was living in Nashville for a hot minute. I was living in Louisville, and like each time I lived in those places, I was like looking up like if there was a wrestling school or something around. I was like, I don't know, maybe I'll go check it out or something. And then eventually, once I got to Indianapolis, I ended up finally getting that opportunity
all
to
the
start.
stars just aligned right
yeah,
for you that
yeah.
day when you
And
sat
now-
next to that dude. Huh?
And I don't think I'm gonna be stopping. So
Did you go to like when you lived in them other states? Did you go to like any independent shows there?
no, unfortunately
Couldn't
I
find
didn't.
any,
No,
or-
yeah, it's like, well, I was trying to find like if there was like the school. I'm
Yeah.
sure there were shows around, especially if I was down like in the Tennessee area.
Yeah.
Memphis obviously is
yeah,
a
they
huge
got
area
a
for
lot
that.
there.
Jerry Lawler, real big. down
Yeah,
there.
yeah. So I never really got out to like go watch shows or anything, but yeah, that's really about it.
On the independents, how's that work? Like you said, Owen's your trainer. Do you have to sign like a contract with him that you're going to stay with him for so long, or is it just like a
Yeah, so there's
basically a verbal agreement? Or?
So there's a couple different ways you can go about it. I think the way that I've been training is a little bit more personal, to where I have Jake, and then Jake has only 3 other students. But I know that there are other places where it's like a school, and like you show up and you're training with like 15, 20 other people, and then you kind of just go from there. And everybody's going to be training differently. Everybody teaches differently. So it's kind of once you find somebody who kind of works with you and everything, yeah. So
Do you remember the first time, either whether it be in training or whether it was in a match, that it clicked for you and something sparked and you said, instead of taking it from like, well, maybe I can do this, or it's a
Yeah.
hobby,
Yeah.
to I'm getting pretty good, and I think that I can do something with this.
yeah, I think from like day one, my biggest worry, this is when we were still in the horse barn. So this was like my first day of training. We pull up to the horse barn. Well, I meet up with Jake. Jake drives me to the horse barn, and it's like out in the middle of nowhere. I think it was in New Pal or something. So it's like out in the middle of this cornfield, and we like roll up. And I'm like, even if I do it for this one day and like leave, this is a weird enough story to like, I think I'd be satisfied.
yeah.
But no, yeah, like after day one, I was just like, hell yeah, this is something I can get into. And then I was like newborn baby giraffe for like my first, I'd say like 6 months of like training and stuff. And then once you kind of get a little bit more comfortable and you like get the things that you want to do, and like you start kind of understanding who you are as a wrestler, and then it's like, all right, I'm into this. I can definitely see myself going as far as I want to. So
Was there a move or just something that you trained hard for and that you was just felt as soon as you hit it, like something that's just crazy? I've seen some of your stuff, and you go pretty hard on some of that. Like
I think that's been like the more difficult thing, is to think of a move set for me that makes sense, because I mean, I'm not necessarily like a really big guy,
Right.
but I like a lot of the big guy moves.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's where it's like, it wouldn't really make sense, nor would I be able to pick up a lot of those bigger dudes. So kind of trying to be like, okay, what can I do to like work with? And so I've had to do like a lot of studying, a lot of things. I'm like, I think I'd be able to do that. And especially like when we're training with everybody, it's like you could ask anybody anything, and it's like we may not know, but we can watch something and try to figure it out and make it happen.
Help each other.
Yeah, pull out the crash pad so we don't break our necks.
Who's some of the bigger stars or WWE guys?
Of wrestling style, I kind of go for more so the technical everything. Like Dean Malenko has been one of the guys that I've been studying a whole bunch just because
he was one of the best in the ring.
Yeah, he
especially like you said, technical.
Yeah, super impressive everything. Tiger Mask has been a real big one. I think it was me and Logan on 2 separate occasions had brought up to Jake that we were just like, oh yeah, I was watching a whole bunch of Tiger Mask and everything, and I think I want to try these couple stuff. And Jake's like, cool. So he got us. He had a Tiger Mask DVD. It had 3 volumes of his best matches and everything, and I watched that thing for hours, trying to pick up things and see how he worked and stuff. So
Is that something that's always it never stops? Like you always constantly looking for inspiration from something everywhere, whether it be for your move set or for a story or for your own personal character.
Yeah. So, and that's been the other thing too, is that, so I'm a marching band kid, right? Band geek, whatever. But I also did drama club in high school, and we learned how to swing dance and everything. So there are a couple things and moves that I do that have been adapted from those certain skills that I had learned and stuff. And yeah, so I think you can almost take anything that's out there and try to adapt it to your style or whatever, using the tools that you previously have.
And what's so great is that it's so open. You can do anything.
Yeah,
with professional wrestling, it's you can take it anywhere.
Yeah, well, that's what Danhausen. We just were up at a show in Michigan, and it's Danhausen is just a hell of an entertainer. He just goes out and just the way he presents himself and the character, it's automatically the crowd's yes, I am here, I am entertained, I'm here for this.
Yeah, and you have guys like that are, not saying he is, but you get guys that are better on the mic than what they are in the ring.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
being better on the mic will carry them because the fans.
That charisma can get you places. But man, if you can do both.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Is that something that you constantly doing? Are you at home, in the mirror? Whenever you're getting ready for your day, cutting promos in the mirror.
Right before the shower, I'm sitting there making faces in the mirror, trying to hype myself up, making imaginary fights with people. Yeah, the amount of time I probably spent talking to myself in front of a mirror is more than I'd like to admit.
Hey, but anybody that's done something that's competitive like that, though, if you have that competitive fire, that's what you do. You're always thinking about it and trying to figure out how you can get better at it.
It's already weird.
Just like when we done the amateur wrestling. Hell, I was like that. I was always thinking about, always at home watching video to try to figure out how to get an advantage on my opponent.
In my room, practice shooting moves.
Yeah.
Hell, we started practicing on the damn carpet back in the day.
Well, that's what I even started. I never saw myself doing any sort of combat anything or whatever, but I've gone and taken Brazilian jiu-jitsu classes.
Okay.
Because I'm that's something I could apply to my wrestling style, especially if I'm trying to be technical sort of grappler or whatever. That's something I can work with.
Do you have any favorite matches in your career so far?
Favorite matches in my career so far? I would probably say the Heroes and Legends show I had. It was me versus Jake Oman, and he was as Mimic at the time, which is his mask gimmick character. But that one was it was up at the Coliseum in Fort Wayne, big venue, super cool. The crowd was awesome. I'd probably say that one. The White River Wrestling match I had with Bo and the highlight reel are definitely ones that stand out, just because go out, throw down, do everything we can to put on a really good show. And yeah.
So for those of y'all who don't know, who've never seen him, his entrance, He's got one of the coolest masks I've ever seen.
See that,
And dude, that shocked us when you came out.
Yeah,
and
we even
was
mentioned
announcing
it.
that. Like, oh my god, look at that man! It's like that's cool as shit. Like, where did that come from?
So that
And
was
where did that inspiration?
that was
mask from?
the first time I had kind of gotten to do that in like its full glory, because like so that was the first time I was able to get my music to work correctly at that venue, and so like being able to go out like with the mask and everything, that was prototype 1.
So now is that something that you do?
Yeah, so that was so I made my return, and kind of before I left, who Dutch Boy Platinum was just kind of me, I guess.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like now I'm trying to develop more into the character that Dutch Boy Platinum needs to be, and the entrance comes with part of that. So yeah,
Get you in.
It got,
Into
it got
it.
us because that was the first thing we saw with that mask.
Oh yeah, that was cool, man.
yeah. That's
All three of us that was up there.
that was so it's this website called Wintercraft or whatever, and they have like templates you can buy, and then you just cut them out and glue them together, and I just like spray painted everything.
You made that?
Yeah, so it's all paper. So
Wow,
it's like
I thought that was
myself.
something that you like ordered that was like something
No,
crazy,
yeah,
like,
it's like-
custom made.
It didn't look like
thing.
it was all paper.
No, that was-
I mean, we were sitting
Yeah,
up
that
on
was
it, but
nice.
still.
Yeah,
Look,
but I'm definitely pretty proud. I've got a couple more, and the nice thing is that it's paper, so I can make another one, and I can paint it up in any other way that I want. And I think that's gonna be a
Nice.
trend that I try to go for.
I know
from
that
here on
had that had the crowd pretty hyped whenever they saw that, and it looked cool.
Yeah, and that definitely helps coming out. Just doing the entrance and like hearing people in the crowd say like, "This is badass." I'm like, all right, that's what I'm trying to be. So
'Cause I could tell you from one of the other GSR crews that's not here, Stevie. I mean, he's not really big into wrestling, but let me tell you, you and Logan Myers in the highlight reel really impressed him that night. But he kept going off about you, and he was like, we watched the match the other night, and he was going off about you. And he was like,
I don't know where the dude's at.
Yeah, you're supposed to be here, Stevie. Come on,
dang,
man.
Stevie, come on,
Yeah, you.
trying to be my number one
Yeah,
fan
you-
here.
Yeah,
he didn't show up at all today. I don't know what.
he's
That's
gonna be
okay.
he's
He probably
gonna be
stayed
bummed
up-
about this
He
one.
probably stayed up all night playing the video game and didn't get up.
Yeah.
That's okay, definitely understandable.
Catch him on the next one.
Playing Fortnite or something.
Yeah, it was definitely
Or now I think
entertaining.
it's Call of
Everything
Duty.
I've seen so far has been real entertaining, and can't wait
yeah.
to see just what you do in the future. Because if you're already only this far into it, imagine when you're a couple years into it, like how much better you're going to be.
and-
Like the thought of that for you like, excites me. Like
And I think you're with a good guy with Jake because he's been
Oh
around.
yeah, Jake's
Been around for a long time.
yeah, he's been all over the world.
He wrestled on
He's-
some of the shows that we helped Maples with here in Muncie at Ross Center, and
Yeah, Jake is definitely a big proponent of where me, Logan, and Blake, where we're at now. We definitely would not be in the position we're in if it wasn't for Jake. So, big shout out.
so, you got any big matches coming up?
Yeah, this weekend I've got at PWK Pro Wrestling King up in Bourbon, Indiana. I'm gonna be in a hardcore match with Brutus Dillon, effing brutal Brutus Dillon, for the Alan Bueller Memorial Championship. So debut and a championship match all in one.
Oh,
And my
nice.
first hardcore match. So
where's Bourbon, Indiana?
it's like a little bit of south of South Bend. So
Okay, so up north.
It's up north, about 2 hours up north. So.
Is this your first championship or hardcore match?
So I've had, I think I've had a couple other championship bouts, but obviously none of them successful because I don't have a belt or anything. So this is not the first title shot that I've gotten, but this will be my first hardcore match out there. So I'm kind of interested to see how this is gonna go.
So that's on Friday.
That's on Saturday.
On Saturday.
I've got WCWO on Friday, PWK on Saturday, And then we've got Warrior Pro Wrestling in Danville, Indiana, the 12th. So that'd be next Sunday, I believe. So, yep.
And who are you going against in that one?
Logan Myers.
Logan Myers.
Yep, me and
your
Logan
tag team
Myers.
partner.
Yeah, I know. We're turning on each other.
Man,
We're turning on
what's
each other.
going on with that? And I was just about to say, I think you two could give the highlight reel a shot and take the straps from them.
A run for their money. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, me and Logan just want to wrestle. So I mean, if we've got to wrestle each other, man.
I'm looking forward to that, Logan. If you hear me, you get back with this guy. Y'all take them straps from the highlight reel. If anybody can do it, it's you two.
And then Friday night, you're in a tag team match.
I don't know what Friday's gonna have for me. We just kind of.
I thought I saw a flyer that said that it was going to be you and Jake Oman.
I think that was last.
Was that last week?
Last
Okay,
Friday.
that's wrong.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens this Friday.
You got anybody out there that you haven't worked with in a match that you would like to work with? Like a big name or an independent guy?
I think after the show that we had up in Michigan, I would love to work with Dan Housen, just because I think that'd just be a hilarious match to have. But I mean, not really. I'd love to just work with anybody and everybody that comes my way. So not really looking for much, but
Is there anything that you would say you specialize in, that's your specialty?
I want to say I'm kind of like an all around. I feel like I can adapt to a lot of different styles that people have, the way that they work, so I can try to mold myself to make sure that we have the best match possible.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, we're thoroughly impressed with your skills here at GSR, that's for sure. Yeah, we've been entertained every match that we've seen.
What was
of
the
yours.
hardest thing to learn? Like when you first started training or to get used to? Because I always thought laying there and waiting for somebody to jump on you.
Yeah. I mean, once
I don't know. I don't know. I think I would move. I don't think I'd hold still. I don't know.
once you kind of start taking bumps and just getting thrown around and getting beat up, you kind of get used to it at a certain point. I think the cardio is probably the biggest factor. That's you kind of don't really realize how much it takes to especially go for like a 20-minute match or anything.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you could even look at The Rock or whatever. Rock made a giant return against John Cena, and The Rock is like one of the most fit people in the world, and he just because he hadn't been in the ring for so long, you could tell he was kind of like, oh my god, it's definitely been a while. But yeah, I definitely think just being able to just tell my body to shut up and just keep going has probably been one of the better skills to learn. So
Oh yeah, because it does. You guys take a lot of bumps.
mm.
That's why I hate when people say pro wrestling's
The
fake.
F word.
I'm like,
It's
yeah,
not- use the
yeah.
F word.
Well, that's anytime, because obviously, like, I've got friends in the real world that are like not into wrestling or anything,
Yeah.
and that just come out on Facebook. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm wrestling now, by the way. People are like, oh, that's pretty dope. So now anytime I run into anybody, they say, it's like, oh man, I see that you're doing the wrestling stuff. Like, that's super dope. Now tell me, how much of it is fake? And I was like, none of it. None of it. Like,
That's usually like first question for somebody that doesn't know.
yeah, I'm just like, no, like, I'm going out there and I'm getting my ass kicked and I'm putting my body on the line for this. Like, there's nothing fake about that. But
I took those 3 chops that showed up. Fuck, I was bruised for about a week.
that's probably my favorite thing if I'm going out to the bar or anything, and then somebody will just drop that. It's like, oh yeah, Jordan does wrestling stuff, and it's like, people be like, oh yeah, and I'm like, can I chop you? Can I just like beat the crap out of you right now? I know you're drunk, so you probably won't feel most of it, but
In the
I'm
morning,
gonna
we'll
lay
be
it
like,
in.
where did this big old handprint
Yeah.
across my chest
Well,
come from?
I thought I was just getting one chop from Max Sterling, and the next thing I know, Dex jumps in there,
Everybody's like, let me get in on
and then
that.
JKO jumps in there, and he got me good.
Yeah, they definitely lay them in, especially the 3 guys that you got chops from. Yeah, they
We're gonna have to
definitely
get you
lay those in.
to. We have to corner Steve up next time and have him chop Steve. Yeah,
I'd be okay with that.
I don't think you get Steve in that ring. Dude.
I'll say we'll catch him upstairs.
maybe
and hold him
after a
back
couple more shows.
Yeah.
I think he's still a little. his reactions are so great because just the
Is
faces.
this
he
Rachel
made.
going up? Is she?
Oh, yeah.
Is she gonna hit this one?
This is like just his reaction.
This was
It'll
impressive.
be like stuff he acts like it's something he's never seen before.
Yeah.
Well,
great.
he hasn't because he said he had
He went
never
to a
been to. Well, he said when he was younger,
He went to a few when he was
couple of,
younger, but not.
like WWE ones, but he had never
Yeah.
been to independent
Now-
wrestling before.
Yeah.
The other guy that comes on with us a lot, my cousin Brandon. He's the one I was saying wrestled Andrew, but it's Stevie's brother. Now he's like a damn encyclopedia when it comes to pro wrestling.
Oh yeah, Logan is the same way. Logan, he will just be like, "Oh yeah, you remember SummerSlam, 1993, blah 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 versus blah blah blah," and I'm like, "Logan."
That's how my dad is too. My dad don't miss a show. He watches
Yeah.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. He watches every organization.
Yeah,
And he's online looking up the independent stuff. He loves it.
hell yeah,
He's an encyclopedia. He can tell you about anything about it.
yeah.
Is there anything that's different or that was shocking about wrestling, the whole business and any aspect of it? It's like that when you was just a fan or when you had your own idea in your head of what it was going to be like, that you're like, whoa, this is totally different.
Yeah, I feel like the biggest thing, and I feel like the most intimidating thing for everybody else who kind of starts training, is that there's so much more besides just getting in the ring and just wrestling. Like there's going to the gym and everything, paying your dues. Like I had to referee for a little bit. I was ring announcing for a hot minute before I made my debut and actually started wrestling. And then build up, setting up the ring and then tear down. Like that's another thing. Obviously having like social media and everything, like getting bookings, traveling to shows. Like there's a lot that I think people just think.
Merch.
Yeah, merch, everything. Like that's what something that I'm just starting to like look into. I'm like, all right, cool. This is something I've stuck with. If I'm trying to take it to the next level, these are
We
things I
just
gotta worry
started
about.
this
Yeah,
like 5
Almost
months
6
ago.
months ago going on.
Yeah, going
Yeah.
on 6, and I didn't realize how much
Yeah,
time I was
yeah.
going to be on this computer
yeah,
editing stuff and posting on social media.
yeah. And I think that's the biggest thing too, especially like this day and age. It's like if you're trying to get out there, if you're trying to do anything,
You have to.
you got to be on social media.
And you got to stay.
can't-
You have to stay consistent with
Yeah,
it.
Well, yeah, and that's what I always equate this sort of lifestyle to like starting up a rock band. Like you're gonna be going out, you're gonna be traveling, you got to be selling shirts, got to be getting shows. Like I think there's a whole lot more that intimidates some people compared to just doing the wrestling.
Do you think
So,
that's what separates the people who have some success in this and the people who don't? Like,
yeah,
you know, the
like-
people who want it so bad that, like you said, you're going 3 nights a week, you know,
Yeah.
and traveling from here to here to there, and all the time that you said, the guys that do all that stuff.
Yeah, and you can definitely kind of tell we have some people that show up for like just starting training and everything, and from like the first couple things in the ring, it's like, yeah, they're not gonna make it out of this one. So
Do you have a lot of people that will come for like one day and then don't show back up?
I've had people who show up for 1 day, come for 2 days, 3, a week, 2 weeks maybe,
Ever
and then
ever have anybody not make it through one day?
not make it through 1 day. I think it's usually like you get there and you're like, dang, this sucks. I'm just gonna stick it through till it's done, and then just kind of tap out. But yeah, we've had a couple people come through and say like, oh yeah, I want to do this, and then they're like, oh, like my neck hurts, like I can't be there today. And as soon as they say that, it's like, yeah, you're done. So
Yeah, you're not
Yeah.
committed. You're not going to be committed enough for
yeah,
this.
so and even some of the dudes that we train with, it's like if people are wanting to grind and like push to that next level, it's like there's so much more that is going to go on besides just the training sessions we have.
But does that? I mean, it's got to help with you, like, and like Logan and them, because y'all are, like, got a high skill set. Both of y'all, y'all have each other to like work off. Do y'all like use each other a lot? Like, not use each other, but like
Oh
to
yeah,
help each other. You know, like get better, bounce ideas off each other.
yeah, that's what
things like that. Like,
even the other day, me and Logan and Jax, who I think was at this show.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy with the pig head. and
Yeah,
the
yeah,
body
yeah,
bag.
yeah, He, so me, him, Rachel, and Logan, we all are train at WCWO, and like we just got to go into the back and then just kind of like work with each other on like some chain wrestling stuff and just like developing different things, trying some other stuff out. So, and I think that's also kind of the thing that pushes us all with each other. My biggest thing is that like if there's somebody in the room that I'm gonna pick the person I'm like they're the top dog. I'm not gonna let them work harder than I am.
Yeah.
And so that's like always been kind of my mentality, just to like anything when it came to band or whatever. I think that's just a thing that I've kept with me. And so having those big level guys like the Twins and Dex, like having those guys be like, that's the example. I need to either be there or try to surpass it. So
Yeah, you can definitely tell that the work is paying off. I mean, I wouldn't do half of that stuff. And there's a lot of crazy stuff I would do and a lot of dumb stuff I would do, but I don't know.
well, that's I mean it sucks, but we're all kind of like in the suck with each other. So
Right.
it's like we
So you
also
ain't
kind of
gotta
like
do it alone.
and we're like bonding through that
Right.
almost. So it's like if we're all willing to put in the work, it's like we're all gonna just raise each other
The
up.
more relationships you can build with other wrestlers like that probably would help you. Helps you a lot in the independent scene.
Yeah.
I would think.
Especially getting your name in the door, or foot in the door, just getting your name in some people's brains and stuff. That's what like me and Logan drove with Jake and Blake for the show up in Michigan, and then Logan ended up driving the whole way, which was like a 6-hour drive just to there, and then 6 hours back. Me and him didn't wrestle at all, but we helped out anything we could have done with the promoter and everything. We were just like, hey, whatever you need, this and this. We helped run some merch tables. I took pictures and stuff. I do photography, so I'm always like, if that's a service I can provide for you to help you out in any way, then yeah. So, but now they know who we are. We know kind of who we are as people. So hopefully something can work out in the future.
Like you said, get your name in their head.
Yeah,
And then-
yeah. I remember that guy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then like I said, you doing stuff like with the mask, with your tights, your pants, like I mean, all this stuff sticks out, and you remember that is like, because I was like, some of the guys sometimes are easy to forget.
Yeah, I feel like there's
mean,
definitely a lot
there's a lot of them
cookie
that-
cutter
that
kind
can
of
be,
like
yeah.
And that's why I feel like that's just been my style like ever since I can remember. It's like kind of not going with the status quo or anything. So any way I can make myself stand out in any fashion, I'm definitely going to take the opportunity to do so.
That's always got to be beneficial, huh? Just to be something new and different. And I mean, when there is sometimes so much kind of
monotony.
not necessarily copying, but like borrowing maybe of others.
Yeah,
people's
there's definitely where I'm
styles
like, you can go into a show and you're like, oh, this is the CM Punk guy, or
Yeah.
this is the Finn Balor guy.
Yeah,
this
right.
is, yeah. So
This is the Shawn Michaels guy.
yeah, oh, this is the Stone Cold of this of this federation. Yeah,
Yeah, and then see something different. And that's always like refreshing. Doesn't matter what it is in anything. But something in wrestling, it seems like it would be more impactful, like just to stand out.
yeah. I feel like that's like some of the biggest gimmicks that can get you out there. I mean, even like the highlight reel, Twins and everything. Like that's definitely a niche that could take them really far.
Oh
So,
yeah, I mean, because who doesn't want to see? Like, twins are enough for rare
Yeah.
in their own, but
Yeah.
then twins
Twin
that want to
wrestlers.
wrestle.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
and being as good as they are, like, yeah,
yeah, twins that can agree on something like to do wrestling and all that.
yeah,
Me and my brother weren't twins. We probably killed each other trying to do something like this.
Is there anything that about this that you would change? That you're like, this needs to upgrade or this needs to evolve with,
like just
as
wrestling
far-
in general.
Yeah,
or
in general is the in ring, the outer, the behind the curtain stuff, like just in the whole business in general. Like, is there anything so far that you've seen that you're like, I'm not I don't necessarily like this part, or I would wish it would be like this or like that or whatever.
There's a part of me that always see, I'm kind of torn on it because I enjoy like the tradition and kind of like being involved like with that, but then there are also like some traditions where I'm like, can we just like move past that? Like,
Right.
especially I think especially being as like a new guy, a lot of the veterans kind of taking advantage of that. Maybe not so much me personally, but noticing how some veterans treat other just like really green kids. Like I get it. Like you've been wrestling in a little bit, but like this is also like how we breed that next generation of people who keep coming in. So like
You're gonna put these people off.
yeah, and then they're not gonna want to wrestle anymore, and who knows? We may be stopping the next like CM Punk or Daniel Bryan, whoever coming into the business because we decided it'd be funny to be a giant piece of shit. So
Right. Yeah, that would be hard to do something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, because
but
somebody that'll suck it out of you and just make you just regret your whole thing. But
yeah,
maybe would that be like kind of like say a basketball team, an NBA team, hey, well, what if I go over here, maybe fresh team, fresh scenery, whatever, then it'll re-inspire me to get, re-inspire my love for wrestling and
yeah. And then honestly, maybe sometimes you just don't click with the people that are
Right.
you're working with or the area or the scene that you're in. Like I think every city, every state is gonna have like a different style. I mean, driving up to Michigan, even going to like Ohio, it's like they think about wrestling in a different way. So I don't know. Maybe you just gotta keep looking around. But I would say more so not from me that I've got like I have like received that.
right.
I don't want to say like abuse, but like
Stuff you've witnessed, and
stuff
heard
I've
about
seen
and
where I'm
things
just like,
that,
all right,
yeah.
is that really necessary
That might,
to like do that?
might be a
But
little too far.
yeah, like I'm all for like jokes and like ribbon, and it's like, yeah, you kind of got to pay your dues, but it's like, all right, where does this cross the line a little bit? But
No, do you guys like travel like as a group and go train with like other people?
so me, Jake, Blake, and Logan, we are usually the kind of four. We all travel up to shows and stuff with each other, and usually it's like Jake's gonna have a booking or Blake's gonna have a booking, and we'll travel along and see if we can hop on or help out in any way that we can. So
I mean, like, what about like just like training, like practice or anything? Do you guys like go work with other groups, or is it just basically you just stay in your little?
we've had a couple people come through WCWO and run a couple like seminars and stuff.
Okay.
Like we had Larry D from Impact come through, and then we had Ricky Marvin, who was like luchador, and he like spent a whole lot of time in Japan and everything. Having him come through was super dope. But yeah, not really going out and kind of getting. I mean, we'll pick up advice and stuff, but never like a solo, like, hey, we're going to drive up to just train with each other. Definitely would be cool. Would not be opposed to doing that. Traveling.
I was just wondering if like groups did that, like,
Yeah.
hey, you guys want to meet together like on Sunday, and
There've definitely
just to
been.
get like, because like in amateur wrestling, we'd go different places, try
Yeah.
better competition. That way you get better.
Yeah. That's what, like, we'll definitely show up to like a show and like people kind of rolling around in the ring, kind of like doing their own stuff, and then we kind of get to work with some other people that way, or even just showing up and then just getting thrown into a match with somebody else. Be like, all right, how are we gonna make this work, guys? Let's figure this out.
What is your process whenever you get booked for a match and it's match day and you're getting ready to go out there? What's the process for you for that? You got like rituals, like music you listen to in your headphones, a meal that you eat, like
I always listen to the entrance music of some of the people that I wrestle with, because their entrance music hypes me up as well. I listen to my entrance music.
and what is yours?
It's it's this song called "Rip and Dip" by Getter. It's like EDM kind of electronic stuff, but kind of just having those like hype songs to like get me up. But other than that, I'll just stretch and get ready, kind of get my heart rate going before I even get out there, and then go do the match.
When you're in the match, how much time do you spend with the person that you're having the match with to prepare for the match?
It could really depend. It could be 5 minutes. It could be we get told we're wrestling right at the beginning, and then we're on the main event, and then we've got hours to talk. So it could be, all right, how are we doing this? Or it could be, all right.
Do you feel one way is better than the other?
I would love to be overly prepared for anything that's going on.
To have as much time as possible.
So that it can just go off without a hitch. And it's like, I know what's going on. Everybody else knows what's going on. We're all very calm with each other. And we just go out there and do it. But I always feel like you get that shorter time frame to talk with each other. And then it's kind of like, I don't know. All right, let's go out there. We got to go. So other than that, it's
and then you get less time for, less injuries and things could happen during the match, right? Because if you're trying to do stuff on the fly, like sometimes maybe you're not 100 prepared for it. You caught the message the wrong way that the other person was sending it.
That
maybe they land this way when you meant for them, they meant to land that way.
100% happens all the time. So,
have you had any nasty bumps or injuries that?
I have not personally. I have been involved with a couple nasty bumps. I was given flapjack to a person, and they ended up dislocating their elbow and breaking it. So that was kind of nasty. The other day at training, I ended up pulling a guy out of the ring, and he didn't hit like the guardrail or anything, but like I think my knee just like smoked him, and like he had just like a giant cut underneath his eyeball, and I was like, damn, I'm sorry, man. He's like, oh no, it's good.
Is that kind of thing that like you know and you understand that, hey, it could happen at any time? Is that thing, or like when it happens you like, dang, man.
What see, that's the one thing is that like I kind of like getting the shit beat out of me. Like when we get into a match, like any of the matches I've had with Blake, like we just beat the crap out of each other. And that's just kind of like, I know Blake's going to bring it, so I'm expected to bring it as well. So it's kind of like, all right, I trust you, this and this, let's go for it. So it's kind of like, I'm putting my trust into you, you're putting your trust into me. So it's like, but if you know how I work, it's like, you can beat the shit out of me. It's okay. Don't be an asshole about it, but
like when you go to like the tag team match, or how do you decide who's going to call the match? You guys just basically go over it before and then just go with it.
Usually, just kind of whoever the veteran is. Like I've got certain things that I do. They've got certain things they do. Logan's got certain things that he would do. So it's like, all right, let's try to take all the things that we do and string them with each other and try to tell a good story.
So, what is your finisher?
My finisher, I've got a couple different ones. I do like this running blockbuster, just kind of like flip over the guy, give him a little neck breaker or whatever. And then I've got this other one that doesn't really have a name. I'm probably going to call it like the 42 or something. I don't know. Work in progress. But it's like gunslinger, take them over, kind of like to the end of days sort of bit. So, yeah. Honestly, ever since I've started working as a heel, I haven't really had to bust out any of my finishing moves or anything. So,
what do you like working better as?
It really kind of depends. In the end, I'm just working for that crowd reaction.
Whatever gets the crowd.
Whatever the crowd reacts to, whether that be them booing the hell out of me or them cheering me on. So,
what do you think you've got the better reaction to?
I feel like I get a better babyface reaction. Because I'll do a couple little cool things, and they're like, oh, I like that guy. And then when I get my ass beat, they're like, man, come on, I want him to win.
Right.
But then also it's like when I'm a heel, like I feel like I can definitely make people just hate me. There have been moments where I'll show up to a show, and then I leave with that whole crowd booing. I'm like, all right, I did my job.
I turned kind of heel during our broadcast over here.
Yeah. I think you just said it perfectly, because when we was watching that at the Summer Shakedown, that was the first time I had seen you perform, and we had saw the highlight reel before. I've seen them live before.
We saw them up at the park.
Yeah, so like we knew what they were about and like their skill set and everything. So we're like, all right, we know these guys. So yeah, these guys did some cool stuff. Yeah, they're probably gonna do cool stuff again. And then like during sometime like probably about after a third of that match, like me and Stevie were turned. We were like, no, we gotta. I think we want Logan and
go.
Platinum to win. Like, come on, like. Yeah. Dang, like that was pretty impressive. Like, I could see where you would say that on that. Because we already had like our
preconceived notion.
Yeah, preconceived notion of
we ain't nothing to sleep on. So
and then we was like, wow, I was like, wow, that's like no, it's like
yeah, because you guys went not to show the DCCW done at the park, were you?
No, we were where were we at? I think I was gone at that time. I was originally supposed to be there when they were going to have it on June 19th, and then it got moved, and then I had to do some other stuff. So
that's what I was. That was the original show that I was trying to. We were going to try to start on, and then that got moved and stuff. So then we ended up getting on the one last one. That was our that was our first time. We had a blast. We're
that's what I think.
Planning on being there for any of them that they have.
I was at a DCCW show kind of earlier in the year, and I went up against Dex, and they originally had me coming out as heel because I think Dex is a babyface here. So I think that was the case. I could be wrong. I honestly can't remember, but
was that the one that was for like the Bearcat wrestling?
Yeah.
I was at
the Bearcat Rumble.
I was at that show.
Yeah. Me and Dex had a match with each other, but then
because me and Dad, that was the first time we saw you two. It was at that show because that AJ, the guy that coaches the Central Wrestling,
right?
He's 2 years older than us or something like that.
We grew up with them.
We grew up with them and stuff. So we know them real well.
And then Elijah Burke and everybody being there too. That was really cool. So, what was I talking about with that one? I can't even remember.
Yeah, either.
That's okay. It was whatever.
So, when you're not wrestling and wearing masks and stuff and high flying, drop kicking, kicking ass and taking names, what do you do? Like, what kind of stuff do you enjoy?
So I'm a photography guy. I do portraits and stuff. At Jordan Gould Photography, JORDANGOUL.
Hit him up. Get your photography done here. You do be hired for all events or what?
Yeah, I could do really just about anything, weddings, whatever. I do a lot of I would say kind of like artsy photography stuff. If you look at my page, there's not really a lot of events or anything. It's just kind of stuff. I do a lot of urban exploration, so breaking and entering into abandoned places,
right?
Not getting caught. Some real goon stuff, yeah. I only got caught once, but they stole my memory card, so that was kind of poopy.
So does wrestling take up too much of your time, or do you have other hobbies and interests that you do also like?
So I have multiple jobs basically. I think wrestling along with that is starting to become one of those jobs. But so I teach high school marching band.
Nice.
So I do visuals. So I teach kids how to march around on a field and everything. And then I was working at Planet Fitness at the time, also doing photography stuff and training to be a wrestler. So I kind of had a bit.
You're a busy man.
Yeah, I had quite a bit on my plate, and photography kind of took the back seat to a lot of everything. But then I could really go hard with wrestling and everything. So nice. Yep.
Where'd you coach? What school did you coach band at?
I was with Fishers High School for from 2019 up until the past winter season, and then I left for the summer, and then now I'm not back there this season, but eventually at some point something had to go. Something had to be away from there. But yeah.
All right. Well, before we get out of here, do you have anything else you'd like to plug or put out there?
Yeah. So go ahead and check out my wrestling Instagram at Dutch Boy Platinum, DUTCHBOI Platinum. As long as you know how to spell platinum, you should be okay. That's just where I'll be posting all my wrestling content. And then at Jordan Gould Photography. I don't know if you guys will be able to put up those or something
we can.
down there somewhere. So
Yeah, we can.
But yeah, really other than that, yeah. Thanks for having me, guys.
Hey, thanks
no
for
really
coming.
appreciate it.
Like I said, we look forward to seeing you a lot more in the ring and see what you do in the ring. And we think you got a big career ahead of you. And we're excited to see it, man. We're big fans here at GSR.
Thank you.
You good? I'll ask him. I'll ask that off after we're done. What I was going to ask, I'll wait and ask that question after we're done. It's.
Let's one more thing. I want if you would do something.
Oh yeah.
Stand up and then holler at Stevie. Tell him he's a chump. Stand up and say Stevie G.
Stevie.
For not showing up today.
You absolute piece of garbage. Honestly, I'm pretty upset. I wasn't gonna be upset coming out of this podcast, but I'm pretty mad that you're not here right now. So
he gets a chop next time you see him.
I'm gonna be kicking your ass. So
Stevie G getting that ass
watch
kicked.
out.
Yes.
All right, thanks.
We'll get footage of that.
Very cool.
All right. Want to thank everybody for watching. Also want to give a big shout out to Dutch Boy Platinum for coming and joining us. I thought it was a great conversation. Hope everybody enjoyed it. Before we get out of here, don't forget we're live every Monday through Friday with Easy Money, a sports betting show. Come join us. We're giving out winners. We're live at 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. We're also live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch with GSR Gonzo'S Sports Room. So make sure you come join us for that. You can find GSR Gonzo'S Sports Room and Easy Money, a sports betting show on Apple Podcasts, Anchor Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. But anywhere you listen to podcasts, you can find us. Follow us on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all at Gonzo'S Sports Room. We also have a merch page. Please check out our merch store at streamlabs.com/Gonzalez Sports/merch. We have shirts, some hats, hoodies, beanies. We'll have some more stuff dropping soon. We also have a donation page at that same link if you'd like to donate to the show to help the show grow. We greatly appreciate that as well. You can find that link in our video description, or it's also in the ticker at the bottom of the screen. That link again is streamlabs.com/Gonzalez Sports/merch. Before we get out of here, I do have a couple things that I wanted to put up here on the screen for Dutch Boy Platinum. He's going to be wrestling Saturday night in Bourbon, Indiana. Here's the flyer for that if you want to go check him out. He's also wrestling tomorrow night in Indianapolis with I think it's WCWO. And then also you can find Dutch Boy Platinum next weekend. He'll be in Danville, Indiana. At this Warrior Pro Wrestling. So go check him out. Make sure you support him. He's a good guy. We need to support our any local talent we have around here. He's from our area, so get out there and support him. I want to thank before we get out of here. Tomorrow on GSR at 1 p.m. Eastern, we have another pro wrestler that's going to be came and joined us. We'll have an interview with Logan Myers. Sorry, Logan Myers tomorrow at 1 p.m. All right, I want to thank everybody for joining us. Hope to see you guys tomorrow. 11 a.m. Eastern for Easy Money, 1 p.m. for GSR. Pro wrestler Logan Myers will be joining us tomorrow. We had a good conversation with him. You don't want to miss that. It's Thursday, almost weekend time. Also, if you want to get tickets for DCCW Harvest Havoc 3, get a hold of Terry Coons. You can get a hold of myself. Get a hold of Delaware County Championship Wrestling Facebook page. Somebody will get you where you need to be. Get your tickets now. It's selling out fast. Thanks for joining us. Also, another big shout out to Dutch Boy Platinum. Hope to have you on again. Peace.
I used to be the ghost boy running insane. I used to be the ghost boy looking for fame. I used to work so hard to get it, so hard to get it. I used to be the one living in the fast lane. I used to be the one who only cried in the rain. I used to work so hard to get it, so hard to get it. I used to be the lost boy running insane. Used to be the ghost boy looking for fame. I used to work so hard to get it.
I always wonder how Coca-Cola tastes so good at McDonald's. Is it the way it flows through the straw? Or is it the ice-cold taste that's so refreshing? Or the perfect mix of Coke and Fizz? Or just an all of those things deal?
There's a deal for every moment on the McDonald's $1, $2, $3 menu.